Silicon Valley, technology, art, green, and sustainability.
Welcome to another episode of Silicon Valley Tech, Art, Green, and Sustainability. Today I'm so very honored to have Olga Smith, and I'm going to murder your middle name. How do you pronounce your middle name?
Enisco.
Enisco. I wanted to say Enisco. We've known each other for a very long time. We met, I think, at a chamber meeting, Los Gatos or Saratoga, at least 2002, 2001. So we've known each other a very long time, and I really admire what you do.
Thank you, Heather.
I'm going to the first slide that's going to come up in a minute tells a little bit. You sent me a bio that's like a mile long. You've done so many things. It's just amazing. But social entrepreneur, advocate for small businesses, international trade, development, advocate for women in business, and the list goes on. And you've been honored with so many things. I didn't realize that you were president of the Hispanic Chamber at one time?
Yes.
Yeah.
For many years, yeah.
Okay,
yes.
so yeah, that's probably the chambers, I think, you know, where we met.
Yes,
and when I moved back from San Francisco, I was a member of a couple chambers. But enough about me. Tell us about yourself. You're just so amazing, and what you do is amazing.
Well, thank you, Heather. Thank you for having me here. Maybe I'll tell you a little bit about myself, how I came to do what I'm doing. I came from Lima, Peru many, many years ago, from Lima to Detroit to go to school. I did win a scholarship to study nursing, and that was a passport to get higher education. While I was there, I didn't know the English that I know now, so I lost the scholarship. So I had to leave the School of Nursing and find my own way. I put a little notice at the Newman Club, which is the Catholic club for students at Wayne State University. Student from Peru looking for a place to stay, etc. And a young family came and met me and said, we'd like you to come live with us. We are looking into doing volunteer work in Latin America. So it was a perfect match for both of us.
And you were in your 20s at that point?
Or a little less than that.
Okay.
A little less, that's right,
okay.
Yes, yeah. And they were applying to work there, and everything was going fine until they got the very bad news that they couldn't go because the children will not adjust to the culture. That was my first shock. I think children are easy to move to another place, adjust to the culture, learn the language, etc. So they didn't know what to do. They sold their house, their car, gave up their teaching jobs, and what they were going to do.
And where were they from?
They were Detroit, in
okay.
Michigan, right,
okay.
yeah. They decided to go to Southern California to an Indian reservation where they had met as young single people. And they invited me to come with them. So I said, fine. So we drove all the way, and we ended up in Pala, the Indian reservation. We found a place to stay among friends, and then found work at the Head Start program, which is a teaching program.
And were they from Michigan originally, or where?
Originally from Michigan.
Okay,
and
so
they had worked as volunteers there.
Okay.
They met, and they went back to their home state.
And you weren't married at this point then?
No, I was single. I was a student, you know, college student.
Well, sometimes,
that's
know,
right. You're right. Some people marry young. I didn't marry young. Right.
Yeah.
Yes. In the Indian reservation, I think that was the major breakthrough for me, because I saw that the population, they didn't know the language anymore, their own language. They didn't do any art, and kind of they lost their identity. So they have major social problems. So that's why the Head Start was there. So when they are 3 or 4 years old, to learn to go to school. So my role was to visit from home to home. So that shock impacted me so much. I thought we need to do something about indigenous cultures. The same thing will happen in Peru, in Guatemala, Bolivia. They are marginalized, and eventually they lose their culture and their identity, and the major social problems occur. That was the seed that started in me. Continue going to school, working, and then my friends decided to come to San Francisco to get a master's in education, and I came with them. And then I separated from them. I started working full time and going to school, and then met my husband in San Francisco.
Yeah, when you're going to school full time, it's hard to have any kind of
Exactly.
social life, especially if you're working.
Yes.
I don't know if you worked your way through. I worked my way
I
through
worked my
college.
way
So
through. That's right,
Sometimes
yes.
2 or 3 jobs, and
Yes,
it's hard to have
it's
any
hard.
kind of life when you're
Yeah.
working and going to school.
That's right,
Yeah.
Heather. Yes, yeah.
So this is amazing. I'm going to bring the first slide up if we can, and it's going to show. Well, that's not the first slide, but let's talk about this slide. This slide is art. Oh, there's the first slide. Okay. So this, again, it tells a little bit about what you do. Peruvian California Chamber of Commerce. The acronym there, Associate Peruvian Institutions for the U.S. and Canada. I mean, the list just goes on and on. I love your vision there. And I'm not going to read it. People can read that. And is that your son with you?
My son.
That's your son?
Yes, yes.
And is that at Machu Picchu?
We're at Machu Picchu. That was 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I have taken leading groups to Machu Picchu for many years. I started the work of the art, and people asked me to please organize a group. So it's cultural group.
Cultural group.
My husband passed away 4 years ago, and my son said,
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Let's travel together. And I always gone with him and my family and the group of people to Machu Picchu, which is the conventional way. You fly from here to Lima. From Lima, you fly to Cusco in the Andes, and then take a train and visit Machu Picchu. We decided to do a trekking and walk in the Andes, hike for 3 days.
Wow.
And we ended up in Machu Picchu. That was
You're
amazing.
in good shape.
I don't know, but I did it.
I've heard with the altitude,
Exactly,
and so you
the
have to train
altitude.
for it.
Yes,
yeah.
yeah. There is no hotels, no
Is
restaurants.
it 6,000 or 12, 10,
More,
8,000?
probably 14,000.
14,000. Yeah,
Yes.
it's really up there.
Very high.
It's
Yes,
higher
yeah.
than some of the altitude in Tahoe. So
Oh, yes,
yeah,
yes.
so it's
It's
really
high.
high, and you have to be
That's
in
right.
very good shape to do
Yes.
that. So you're an artist and world traveler, and how long have you been traveling then? Like years, or did you not start traveling until later?
Well, when I started the gallery was in 1974.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
so
wow.
it made it, it happened. And there is a woman in Los Gatos, a textile artist. She asked me to organize a trip to Peru to see the ancient textiles. They do amazing work. So I did it, and many people came every year. And also, as soon as I opened the gallery with Peruvian art, people from Colombia, Ecuador, Bolivia, we have the same thing. For me, it's important to meet the artisans. So I traveled to all those countries throughout the years.
That's wonderful.
Yes, yeah.
So many years.
Many years.
74.
Well, I've been doing this for about 35 years.
Okay.
Yes.
And what motivated you then? Was it the story that you just told me that
Yes.
motivated you?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
to preserve it, to showcase, to make them sustainable, and God willing, to create their own wealth.
Let's pull up another slide now. I'm going to get behind on the slides here. And so this is you on the hike?
Yes.
And what's
yes.
the right one?
The right one is a little like a tent
Okay.
where we sleep at, sleep
On the trail.
On the trail.
On the
That's
trail,
right.
okay.
Yes,
We can
yeah.
pull that
The
down.
camp, yes.
Do you teach art? Do you teach other people art?
I do demonstrations how to spin the wool.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I learned it as a child. My grandmother used to take me from Lima, from sea level to the Andes, to her villages.
Okay.
And the woman was spinning all the time. So they taught me. I'm glad I never forgot. So when I go to schools, I always take how to spin the wool, how to make the yarn, how to weave it, how to dye it.
That's amazing.
Yes, and then sometimes I do the cut paper with a Mexican art.
Is any of this something that somebody would spin? Do you want to hold this up and?
Yes, this is an example.
Okay.
Because we are one people, one humanity, I believe.
I'm going to turn that.
I learned how to spin, as I mentioned, in the Andes of Peru when I was a child. I never learned to ride the bike, and I still don't know, but I'll never forget how to spin the wool. But this is a sampler from the Navajo Indian people here in this country.
Okay.
And they show the little loom and the yarn and the different materials to dye the wool.
Okay.
So to me, it's a technology.
It's beautiful.
Amazing.
I have
Yeah.
American Indian in me. We're Cherokee on my dad's side, supposedly. So
Amazing.
and they,
Yes.
before they did the whole DNA,
Yes,
my
yes.
grandmother did a genealogy. Now, is this something else then? Is this wool
Yes.
or is this?
This is wool with alpaca,
Okay.
and this is
Alpaca. Yeah, you can
yes.
feel how For the
Yes.
folks that are looking,
Yeah.
listening, you can feel it really feels like a good quality wool.
Exactly,
Yeah.
This is very tight woven, so it's the yarn, hundreds, maybe thousands of yarns that they weave to make this.
So
this
and
cloth.
handmade, it's so beautiful.
It's all hand woven.
Yeah, this is
right,
very beautiful. Is
and
this a
the
very
yarn
old
is
piece?
Spin too.
Is this an older piece?
This is actually no. It's probably about 5-6 years old.
Okay.
Yes.
It's just beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
And is this a table?
It could be used as a table. Or to carry things.
Okay.
Most of the time they used to carry things in their back.
Okay.
The women.
Okay.
Yeah, and the men
around
too.
the shoulder, and we'll see.
Right, yes.
Let's bring up another photo right now too, since we're talking about. So this is another. What's this on the right? The photo.
The right is the train station.
Okay.
Yeah, we arrive to the train station and that will take us to Machu Picchu
Okay.
after trekking.
And the left is the trail again.
The left is the trail.
Let's bring
yes.
up another photo again, really quick too. And then there's Machu Picchu.
That's Machu Picchu, amazing city. And you see that mountain in the background?
Yes.
That's called Huayna Picchu.
Okay.
Machu Picchu means old peak. Huayna Picchu is a young peak. That's the backdrop.
Okay.
There is a trail that goes from the right all the way to the top.
Okay.
And on the top there is ruins too.
Okay.
Yes.
And you take people on these tours. Let's
Yes.
pull that down. So you take people on tours, and how often do you do that? I know you have this weekend. You have a talk coming up about taking the tour, but it's going to be
Yes.
too late by the time
Yes.
this airs. When would the next tour be then?
We're planning for October 22nd.
This year.
Yes, this
year.
year, and then about 12 days in Peru, and then I'm going to go to Chile about 5 days with a group.
And you work with people on preparing for it, and
Yes.
and about once a year, twice a year.
Once a year.
Once a year,
I'm
okay.
restarting. I stopped because there was a period that we had terrorism. It was very difficult to go to Peru. Yeah, but so I stopped for a while, and now I'm going to start again because people
it's
want
not
to.
it's not dangerous, right? It's
Not at all.
When you go in a group and you have a guide, it's not dangerous
at
for
all.
you.
It's very safe.
So it's a misnomer when people think that
Absolutely.
it's dangerous to
Yes,
travel. Yeah.
No.
Let's bring up another slide. I think this should be slide 5. So this is Machu Picchu again.
Yes, we arrive early in the morning. That's why you see the mist.
The mist.
Yes. Yeah.
And then on the right is there's snow.
That trekking, hiking, that's the last place, which is the Salcantay. That's the snow-covered Andes. Yeah.
So tell us about the focus of the travel. We can pull that down. So it's to look at the art.
Yes.
And
to
learn
meet
the culture.
people.
Yeah.
To learn the culture, meet the people. The good thing is I think people go there for that reason. The highlight is Machu Picchu. There's another highlight, the Nazca lines, is the Maya-long markings in the soil of the coast of Peru. And you have to be on a plane to see it. They are beautiful designs. So another highlight that everybody wants to see. But in between, there are other ruins, other wonderful museums they give you a panoramic history of Peru and the Incas, But long before the Incas, there were civilizations in Peru before Christ that extended almost all of South America. Yeah.
And the last trek that you took, you said that instead of flying, you
Yes.
actually, how long did that take you?
To walk.
To do the whole, the walk.
The walk, 3 days.
3 days.
3 days.
And
yes.
then you camped
All
along
day.
the way.
And then camp along the way, got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and continue. Yes. Yeah.
And do you pack your own food in, or do they have someone that helps
They
you
have
with that?
somebody that prepares.
That helps you with
Yes,
that. So you don't,
yes.
it's not like a pack in, like some of the places in Yosemite, you
That's
pack in your
right.
own food. And,
Yeah.
and we'll see another photo in a minute with the donkeys. What's your favorite place in Peru to travel to?
Oh, I think Cusco, the ancient capital of the Incas.
Okay.
I believe it's been lived since the Incas were there, which was in the 1400s. And the Spanish came in the 1500s, and they put buildings, they came there. So it's a blending of both cultures and architecture. Other places in the world, people don't live there anymore, like around the pyramids. But here, people live there still, up to now.
And so this is some of the art you sell. I'm going to hold this up too. This is so
Yes.
pretty. This is all hand beaded.
Yes, and that's from Ecuador.
I don't know if you guys can see that.
Beadwork,
It's so
yes,
pretty.
yes.
From Ecuador.
From Ecuador. It's
Ecuador.
all little beads put together.
And where do you sell this?
I was started in 1974 in Los Gatos, then in 1986 came to downtown San Jose for 20 years.
And this is just beautiful.
With the redevelopment, many family-owned businesses were not able to stay.
And is this?
This is a shawl from made of alpaca.
Alpaca. This
One
is
of
very,
the
very
finest
soft.
wools
Yeah.
in the world is alpaca.
In
It's a
comparison
really-
to this one, this is like the traditional heavier wool, and this
Heavier
is
wool.
the soft. It
This
almost
is
feels
the
like
soft.
silk.
Yes.
If you could feel it, it feels like silk. It's just so pretty. Yeah.
I would say
And
the silk in wool.
it's just
Yes,
beautiful.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Here is another one. I'm using like a pillow for my back. This is
Oh yes.
a beautiful
Alpaca too.
shawl. Alpaca too.
This is
Touch it.
alpaca too. This is so pretty.
It's so beautiful,
beautiful.
right? Yes, yeah.
So is it harder to sell original art now than it was before, or is it easier because people are looking for more unique things?
Sometimes it's hard because people will tend to buy to, the back stores where it's mass produced. And sometimes. The other segment of our community and the world, I think they appreciate the history, how it's made. So they specifically look for handmade things. Yes.
Let's pull up another slide. I think I'm behind here. And okay, so what is this a place you stay?
That's the place I used to stay.
Okay.
It's in Machu Picchu, the
Okay.
only hotel there.
Okay.
And when I used to go with my group, it was like $150 a night. And I didn't stay there, because I know the place, and I asked for the manager to show me, and now it's
We're not supposed to,
$900.
we're
Oh, I'm
not supposed
sorry.
to talk about
It's
but,
so
but
high.
it's gone up exponentially.
So high. And they show me a place where, they have a massage right in the
Okay.
Andes. It's
Okay.
just beautiful, right? Yes.
So this is this is the only hotel then?
Yeah, but we stay in a town
Okay.
before you go in a van to Machu Picchu.
Okay.
Yes, and there are more hotels.
And
yes.
it looks like it may be a tent
yes.
setup.
That's
tent.
right. That's
Okay.
right. Yeah, yeah.
So we can pull that down. So you have a store downtown, or do you do pop-ups for selling?
I had to close the downtown store in 2005.
Okay.
So I became chair of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce,
Okay.
the one with global focus. We travel with trade missions, leading trade missions. So I've been working from my home. But I suspended for a few years, but my passion restarted again.
Well, this is beautiful.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, this
So
is. Do you want to hold
after-
this up and show this one, the sculpture there, or
This
what
one,
is that?
It's a gourd.
It's a gourd.
Yes,
Okay.
it's from the pumpkin family. It's dry and it's carved.
And
And
it's-
this is
here,
the
I'll hold it.
story. This is the story of a wedding.
Oh, so there's a story. If you
Exactly.
could see the close up, I'm going to turn it. I don't know if I'm
Yes.
turning it the right way, but you can see there's a story, and it's a wedding story.
Exactly.
So
yes,
would this be done traditionally for a family when they get married? Somebody would do the art?
yes, as a gift.
Okay.
And now we use as decorations. In the ancient times, they open it up here, so it becomes a bowl. So that was their utensils.
It's beautiful.
Yes, yeah. And this is a tiny little one. Maybe you can hold it and see
Oh, yeah.
Look at the detail.
It's so
on
delicate
that.
and beautiful. I don't know.
Yes.
They probably can't get this close up.
Right, right. But
But it's gorgeous.
yes.
Oh, they did. They got it. All right.
Yes.
And then you have some dolls too.
Yes. I'll show you something very practical for,
Okay.
for mother people like us. I walk every day,
Okay.
and I put my water bottle here,
Oh, look at that.
and I don't have to put my
That's
finger.
perfect.
Yeah, and it's just
It's awesome.
yeah. So I don't have to carry.
Put your carabiner on there with the key and you're
Yeah,
done.
Yes, exactly.
On your walk with your
That's
dog.
right. Very practical.
Have
Yes.
you sold art? I'm going to pull up another. I think we're a little bit behind on the slides. Have you sold art from other places? So this is Machu Picchu again, and these
Yes.
are pack mules.
mules? So
Or
those are
donkeys?
the guides.
Okay.
They are the ones that carry,
Okay.
the tent, etc.
Okay.
Yes.
And
yeah.
let's pull up another one now. I think we should be at, yes. So this is one of the people you buy from there.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a young mother,
Okay.
and she's having a manta. It's called a manta. It's a carrying cloth. I think
So is
the
it like
baby's
this
in
one
the back.
here? Yeah. So
Well,
we could,
this is
we
yes,
can pull that down.
exactly. But we designed it for modern life. I made a friend of mine. We designed it as a vest.
Okay.
Yes,
beautiful.
From a carrying cloth that the women use.
Totally
Yes,
beautiful. Let's pull
yes.
up one more thing too. Let's pull up another slide. And so this is?
There's art in food too. This is a bread for Day of the Dead.
Oh, okay.
In the market.
And
yes.
it looks like is it candy in it?
Candy, a lot of candy and sweets.
Okay.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
And tasty.
What's been the biggest challenge for you as far as being a business owner and selling art? And whatever your answer wants to be. It could be challenge, family challenge.
I think as a businesswoman we do everything. That's what I learned. When a man starts a business, he has a secretary, the capital, the attorney, and we have to do everything. And that's how it was for me. And it's still challenging. So I'm looking for interns, to be on a team, to continue promoting this before it's too late. Because if we don't do something about it, the arts will die, and unfortunately. But we live in the most important place in the world, where there's a lot of innovation. I'm just so proud. I think it is the epicenter of technology, of ideas, and we can use those ideas to market this from all over the Americas. And once we do that, go to Africa and India and rescue that art. Yes.
What's been the biggest win for you?
When I go in the community, people recognize that, and that's very satisfying, how much they learn, or they travel, or become an artist. I was at the festival here at Discovery Meadow in San Jose last Saturday, and a family from Monterrey, the young girl said, I am an artist. So she left her name and she wants to visit and to nurture that creativity. Yes.
One of the questions I skipped over was how you've mentored women. Do you want to talk about that? And in your bio there was some mention of some things. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, many years ago there was an organization, an income of her own, to create her own income. It was for at-risk girls. And they had wonderful ideas, so we nurtured us and became great businesswomen. That was many years ago. The latest was I was invited to go to Chile. There's a high-tech company in Oakland. They're working with the Mapuches, which is the indigenous people in Chile, and the government in Chile. They are nurturing to work in renewable energy engineers, and they are amazing engineers. But the women are having a hard time to be there, to be part of that team and be creative. So that was my role.
And is it because it's a matriarch society still?
It's more of a man's,
Patriarch,
yeah,
rather.
Yes,
patriarch,
right,
yeah.
yes, yeah. But they finished the school in the university. So that was my role, to talk to them. That was last November. It was very satisfying. And those women, they were here about 3 months ago, here learning more in this area. And just in Watsonville, they are signing an agreement with a biorefinery in Watsonville.
Nice.
And they have they are reusing the plant waste. They produce a lot of apples, but some parts are thrown away to produce ethanol, alcohol.
Nice. Yeah.
It was
food
wonderful.
waste.
Exactly. Yes.
I think we have a couple more photos to pull up, so let's pull up another photo here. Okay, so this is the one earlier. What is on the left there? It's obvious some kind of artwork.
This is a woman that established a museum.
Okay.
This is the drop spindles.
Okay.
The different colors of alpaca wool is on display at this museum.
I see. I was thinking they were arrows, but they're alpaca and they're
Yes,
spindles.
the drop spindles.
And on the right, she's holding corn, right?
Yeah, on the right, this young woman in the middle is like a daughter to me. It was my husband's, her father was best friend of my husband. And after living in the US, he decided to go back to Cusco, which is the ancient capital. And he passed away, but the daughter continued the farm, and they grow the largest corn in the world.
You had an article. I didn't want to put that in because of publishing copyrights.
Yes.
But it showed the corn, and
She's
so that's
featured
what it was
in that book. Yes.
And we may have one more slide, I think. So let's pull that up really quick, and a couple more slides. So this is them spinning.
The museum. In the museum, you see people weaving.
Okay.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
And then I think the last slide coming up would be there we go. So the last slide is what can the community, we can pull that down, what can the community help you with?
A team.
A team. You're looking for
to,
interns,
to do
you said?
blogs, you know, to update my web,
Okay.
My database, to organize it.
Okay.
I cannot do it alone,
Yes.
Heather.
Yeah.
You
can't. We need
cannot
help.
do it.
We need to help each other.
The Lone Ranger doesn't work.
And so that being said,
Yes.
one of the quick questions I want to get to is events. We'll have to do an event together.
Yes.
And we can have some of your things here. And really quickly before we close too, I'd like to show this to folks. I don't think we talked about this. So I've seen the smaller version of the dolls, and I thought they called them Kachina dolls, but what do they call them?
Arpilleras.
Arpilleros.
River applique.
I don't know if you can get a close-up or if I should hold that.
Okay, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. So there, immigration happens everywhere. From the Andes, they immigrate to Lima, which is a big city.
Yeah.
But the woman, after living in the city, they remember their countryside. So this, you see the markets, the vegetables that they sow, and they do sculptures.
And the little brooms over here.
Yes, yeah, the
and
marketplace, yes, the countryside.
Yeah. Very cute. Okay.
Yeah, and this is wonderful for children. They can play, touch it.
It's like a mural. And if we can, let's hold it up really high. Down at the bottom, you can see the bus down here. I don't know what this is here. It has a word there.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Okay. Of course, you got to have ice cream,
Right,
especially when it's warm.
Yes, yes.
My 82-year-old mom loves ice cream. If I can't get her to eat anything, it's ice cream. Well, we only have 1 minute left, so I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show, and it was a pleasure. I mean, there's so much here that we could talk about more, and again, we should do an event together soon to show some of this artwork. I think it's very important what you said, that in culture we have to have art, and I know the schools here locally in California, art was taken off many years ago, and one of the reasons I put it in the title was because we need to. So thank you for coming on the show, and to the audience, thank you for watching. You can see us on Twitter, SVTAGS, Instagram, SVTAGS. We have a Facebook page. We do have a Silicon Valley Tech Art, Green, and Sustainability meetup. And make this a great week by conserving, reusing, and rethinking the way that you choose to live here in Silicon Valley and beyond. Thank you, Olga, for coming.
Thank you, Heather.